Okay, I was wrong, and I'm sorry. I do apologize to y'all because I fucked up. Okay, I fucked up. So I recently seen the trailer to the new Crow, and I've been meaning to tell y'all this for a while, like before my aunt had her incident, and so I have been worried about my aunt, so I haven't had a chance to actually speak to y'all about this thing, and I need your honest opinion. I'm mad. I'm totally fucking pissed off about it. I seen the trailer for the new Crow. And what I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna not go see the movie. I'm gonna go see the movie. I'm gonna go see the movie just to see what the fuck is going on. But it's a remake of Eric Draven's story, which is why I'm mad. They could have just made a whole new Crow, just like Crow 2, City of Angels, like Crow 3 with the dude from Resident Evil, and I think it was Crow 4 with Edward Furlong. They could have just made a whole continuation with the anthology. I am not mad that they changed. Damn it, why can't I remember her name? Shelly. I'm not mad that they changed Shelly's color. All right. But from what I saw, and I'm probably misinterpreting the whole damn thing, which is possible, and I can definitely be wrong. But Eric Draven's no longer going to be in a rock band. Good gothic metal type rock band. I don't have a problem with Shelly being colored. I'm of color, so Shelly can be of color. Eric Draven does not have long hair. Their previews aren't bad, but it looks like the story. It looks like they've like totally rewritten the story. You got both of them in like some pinkish type jumpsuits, like they've been in prison or something. And like, what the fuck have you guys done? What have you done? I mean, if you didn't watch the Mark Dacascos, The Crow, the series, where they redid Eric Draven, but they they explained how Eric Draven was alive for so many days before the show ended or whatever, which the show was canceled, so I don't really remember how it ended, but I know that the show was canceled. And they had more crows on the show, so Eric Draven wasn't the only one. So they basically took a whole different spin from the movie. And I don't know if they picked it up from the movie or if they like started it all over again because it's been a long time since I've seen The Crow, the TV series. But this shit right here, I wish I could show y'all. I really wish I could show y'all. But here's what we're gonna do. If you have seen the previews to the new Crow, let me know what you think. I am gonna go see this movie, but I don't know if I'm gonna go see it at the theater, if I'm gonna wait for it to come to like Netflix or something, because my sibling, she does have Netflix. But I am pissed. You understand me? I am fucking pissed. I don't know what the hell's going on with the Crow, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy about this shit at all. Like, fucking at all. And I'm like, okay, what are you guys doing? Okay, so he's definitely Eric Draven. The girl's definitely Shelly. That's about the only thing that's constant. Alright? But the timeline and all this other shit that's going on, I am lost in the motherfucking sauce. Like I said, I seen them in like these jumpsuits. Shelly was like in a pink jumpsuit. He was like in an orange jail jumpsuit. And like, what, they both met in fucking prison? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? They pretty much, I guess it's a reimagining or a retelling. It's definitely not a fucking remake. A man and a woman in a loft a year ago. There's a ring that was pawned here. It was told to me by your friend Tintin. He confided in me just before he ran out of breath. Now, the original Crow was dark as fuck, and it was fucking awesome. It's also Brandon Lee's last movie, which is another reason why I'm totally against this remake. I am mad. I'm not so much as against it as I'm just fucking mad. You need to go see the preview so that you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because I know I would probably get flagged if I showed the Crow whatever the fuck on here. I don't have enough clout on this app to just like, Here's the Crow. Look, guys. No, I'm not gonna do that. I have been flagged for fucking videos from 2019. It is now 2024. So sometimes when I went away and I couldn't post anything, it was because they flagged me for some shit that they finally reviewed 3 to 5 years later. It's like, this was in 2019. What does it fucking matter? Nobody's even watching this shit. But I got flagged for it. So I've been flagged for a lot of less things here. So I'm not gonna like try to get the image of the Crow 2 and show it to you, but you can find it on YouTube, I'm sure. The fact that they are remaking this movie is fine. The fact that they are totally taking it away from the story that Brandon Lee gave us is why I'm pissed. I'm like, okay, in the comic book they didn't meet in jail either. Did y'all not read the Crow comic book before you decided to remake this bitch? The movie, the first movie and the second movie was as close to the comic book as you can get. The TV series with Mark Dacascos was as close to the comic as you could get without getting overly graphic or overly bloody. I do not own the Crow comic book, but I did read the Crow comic book when it was in the store. The only reason why I didn't buy the Crow comic book is because I don't like black and white comics. In hindsight, I am kicking myself in the ass because I should have bought the fucking comic. I didn't get the graphic novel, so if I find the Crow in a trade, I'm definitely going to buy it. Alright? But the Crow was gritty, the comic was black and white, the Crow was a badass. And then they made the movie. The movie was gritty, the movie was dark, and it was a badass. The soundtrack was fucking awesome, all that shit. The second soundtrack was fucking awesome. I don't recall the third or the fourth movie having the soundtrack, and now that I think about it, I don't even know if there was a fourth movie. Let me Google that while I've got you. That way we can all learn together. How many Crow movies were there?
Here is information from Wikipedia.
Okay. So you have The Crow 1994, The Crow City of Angels, The Crow Salvation, and The Crow Cricket Player. And now we have The Crow that's coming in 2024. Now, City of Angels is the last movie that Thuy Trang was in. That would be Trini the Yellow Ranger, if y'all don't know. The third Crow was Salvation. It had Eric Mabus, whatever. The dude from Resident Evil. It was a good movie. I believe it also had Jessica Biel in it. I'm not going to swear to it. Yes, The Crow 4, Wicked Prayer, that had Edward Furlong. I remember seeing it, but I thought I was dreaming because I slept through some of it. But I do remember seeing it. So, there's been 4 Crow movies. They should have just made a Crow 5 instead of making this remake of The Crow. Alright, that's just my personal opinion. I am going to go see this movie. I'm going to pray like hell it's not a clusterfuck. But I am still going to be mad as fuck from what I already saw. Alright? So I'm in this video with this. What I already saw from the previews of The Crow, I want to smack somebody. I'm sorry. I really want to smack somebody. I literally want to get the writer and the director and just pat pat. Why? Why didn't you just make a 5th Crow? It'd been so much easier to make a different Crow. And here's the thing. Each Crow is always called the Crow. It's not Crow, then Crow 2, then Crow 3, then Crow 4. No, it's Crow and it has a subtitle. The Crow was the original. The Crow City of Angels. The Crow Salvation. The Crow Wicked Prayer. Alright? You could have just made another Crow. The Crow. Lightning Strikes Twice. You know, something. Or The Crow Rebirth. Crow something. But The Crow, the remake of The Crow. I am so mad. Brandon Lee is probably going to roll in his grave. If he can see these previews that I saw, he's probably rolling in his grave. And I mean no disrespect. Because I love The Crow, the character. But Brandon Lee was the best Eric Draven. Now don't get me wrong. Mark Dacascos was a really good Eric Draven for the TV show. Now if the TV show would have came first, I would have definitely said that Mark Dacascos was the best Eric Draven. However, the movie came first. The Crow series was great. Don't take anything from Mark Dacascos. He was awesome in the whole damn show. And I wish it wouldn't have got canceled. It could have continued. It could have went on. And hell, they could have probably pulled in 2 or 3 more Crows after Eric and Shelley's series was done. But this remake of The Crow, Lord, respect to whoever's producing it, but why didn't y'all just make another Crow? Honestly, why did y'all not just make another Crow instead of rewriting Eric Draven? Now, the scenes I saw, I'm not going to take anything away from the scenes. This is why I said I'm going to see the movie. The scenes are action fucking packed. But to rewrite Eric Draven and put him in a prison suit and Shelley in some kind of pink prison suit. Am I the only one that's seen this trailer? I mean, can somebody confirm if they're in prison suits or whatever? Now, the guy, Eric Draven, pulling a Shatterstar where he harikaris himself and gets the guy. Shatterstar was the first person to do that shit in a comic book. Alright? So if anybody says that they don't know about that, Shatterstar did it first. It was either New Mutants 99 or 98 or 100. But he definitely did it first. And if it wasn't that, then it was in X-Force 1, 2, or 5. But I know he did that shit. He literally stabbed himself with his double-bladed sword. One went through him, and the other part went through the other guy, because the guy had him from behind. He's like, something, and he's like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Shoo! And he stabbed himself and that guy that was behind him, and he pulled it out, and the guy dropped, and Cable said some cool shit, but I can't remember what it was. But anyway, irrelevant. Eric Draven does that in one of the trailer scenes, which is cool as fuck. However, I don't like any of the things I saw. Other than that scene. The action scenes I saw, I kind of like them a little bit, especially the impaling of yourself. But the other scenes where they weren't normal and where they attack Shelley, I am so on the fence with that shit, man. If you guys seen the trailer, please leave me a comment and let me know if you're going to go see this movie or not. Again, I'm going to go see this movie. But I'm not going to have my hopes up because no one can replace Brandon Lee. And no one should attempt to redo Eric Draven. And if they were going to redo Eric Draven, I'm going to say this with my full chest. Mark Dacascos is the only other person who's played Eric Draven. So between Brandon Lee and Mark Dacascos, they should have been the only people who should be playing Eric Draven. And if you're going to remake The Crow, you should have used Mark Dacascos. Alright, much love to Mark Dacascos. Be seeing ya.